Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros, John and Nez here on the platform of the people, the Black and Yellow Dog app for a vibes, immaculate vibes Friday right now. We got all sorts of things to draft. We got baseball's feeling like crazy. Baseball is crazy out here. Love to see it. We're gonna do some home run pick'ems because there will be runs today. We got good warm weather everywhere. We got bumps for bats in every regard. Nez is laughing behind the scenes here. I don't know why. We just got to go find out why here right now. What's up, Nez? What's up, Nez?
There's just too much funny shit going on right now. Today, it's a good Friday. Man, it's just I'm just I'm just laughing about our conversation behind the scenes because, like, yeah, it's just I don't know, man. I'm just in a good mood. I'm in a good mood today.
I'm in a good mood too, dude. We had a friend of the show take it down last night in the MLB streets. There, we'll review the winners from last night. We got Game 7 coming in the NBA. Back to OKC for Game 7. I did not see that one coming. I was OKC in 5, OKC in 6, over and over again. There's WNBA slate. There's tons of stuff going down, dude.
Yeah, I'm definitely not in a good mood because of that. I was not enjoying the Pacers continuing to just make magic happen. I don't know, man. I don't really know what to say. I'm definitely a hater in this finals, like in two fashions. One, I objectively think that this is not a very entertaining final, but I'm also a bit of a hater on both of these teams. So, like, you know, I understand that I'm coming at it from a biased angle, but, like, sure, I think this is going to be one of, like, this will be a memorable finals, but, like, I have not enjoyed pretty much any game.
Yeah.
Like, to actually watch.
Yeah, no, it's true, man. I mean, apart from like the Hallie buzzer beater one, like it just hasn't been, it just hasn't felt like intense competitive throughout kind of thing. It does feel like the Pacers have just kind of like walked all over OKC in terms of the hustle factor.
Yeah, for sure. And I hate a blowout too. And, you know, last night, huge blowout. It just sucks. Like, at least I guess getting a Game 7 is cool though. You know, like getting a Game 7 is cool. I didn't quite realize that there's only been, I think, 20 Game 7s in NBA Finals history. So, like, that's kind of cool. We get a Game 7, and I mean, how vindicated, how happy, how proud are you that, like, the absolute story of this NBA Finals is TJ McConnell? There is simply no other takeaway than, like, this is the series of TJ. Like, that's it. That is the story.
Yeah, no, very much so. It's very cool to see, especially on this stage, that just, like, you know, the pesky gym rat guy can just take over. Like, if you guys go back and watch the short that started all of this from like 3 years ago, it's buried down here on the channel somewhere. All of it reigns true right now. All of it reigns true right now. So it's very cool to see on this scale that, like, because we're so accustomed to star domination in the NBA that it's so amazing to see a role player play such a big factor in a series, and not even like a hey, he's up for 6th man of the year role player. Like, we're talking a guy who's like 9-10 up sometimes throughout the regular season.
I just found the short. It's so good. I'm just gonna share it in the chat.
Put it in the chat for the people, because that's way back, man. That's way back.
Yeah, that was our man. Nikolai was putting those together for free for us. That was incredible. We maybe need to bring him back in the fold.
Simpler times. Nez, this actually a fun question from Pat here. Like, is he winning Finals MVP if the Pacers win? Like,
if the Packers win.
I don't think you can give it to him, but there's certainly a case, you know.
They'll be tempted. They will be very tempted to do so. I think, honestly, it's like 50-50. if they win, whether or not he wins MVP. It'd be who, him or Siakam?
I think Siakam. Yeah, I think Siakam's played very well on both ends of the floor, and it's just been consistent as all hell.
I'm telling you, man, they're gonna think long and hard about giving that shit to TJ. I promise. I promise you.
Yeah. Evan saying, it's Siakam. It's not even close. Resident basketball expert Nick saying it's Pascal that has already cleared out the spot in his locker for it. So yeah, I do think so. But there'll definitely be long, hard, blue in the face debates between Stephen A. Smith and whoever else that TJ was deserving or whatever.
Yeah, I can't wait to not hear those.
Yeah. Thinking the same thing. Man, I don't know. I watched a little bit of the pregame yesterday to just get reacquainted with the series and that sort of thing. And I was like, man, this is insufferable. Bring back TNT one time. Like this is
it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. It's a travesty.
I honestly think it plays into the ratings of basketball too, man. Like
dude, it does. It does.
Yeah, for like casual fans.
100%. It's terrible. It's a terrible product.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing they got going that's good is Mike Breen with the bangs. Like,
yeah, and you can tell. Yeah, I think he's like under like silent protest too, because there's been a lot of talk. Not that I totally agree, but a lot of talk about his calls during this series. That he's like that he's not bringing his A game.
Ooh.
And you know what? I don't know, man. I think attitude reflects leadership, Captain.
Yeah, that's pretty good there. I like that. That's okay. All right. I wasn't aware of this narrative, so now I'm kind of like thinking it through in my mind.
Game 2, he gives them a bang in like the first quarter because he knew that he was getting called out for not giving Neesmith a bang in game 1. Or I think it was Neesmith. He owed a bang and he didn't give it to him. So he gives it to him in game 2. He's like, I owed him that one. He was aware of it. I think that I think he hates the Pacers.
Okay. That's bold, man. One thing I'll say super nice about the Pacers and some of the videos going around last night is that play with Hallie getting the steal and then coming down the left sideline and then throwing the spinorama pass, the spin after the pass for the Siakam dunk there. It is so cool that the only person standing that you see in the video along the sideline is Reggie Miller standing up wearing a Jalen Rose jersey. So like when you pan the sideline, it's just like it's fucking poetry, man. It's very cool. The narratives associated with that are very cool. I did throw out a tweet last night about the finals there, Nez, and just saying that I thought 3 things were abundantly clear. I think Carlisle's just coaching circles around like what they're doing to blitz the handlers, what they're doing to now sag under screens. Like they're so good at fighting over screens, but to sag under screens because OKC is just not shooting enough threes and they'll just try and always get to the mid range and that sort of thing. So some of the coaching decisions on that end I thought have been brilliant. And then the fact that just OKC isn't shooting enough threes kind of thing, but that's kind of always been their MO and they just haven't had to trade threes, but they're trading 3s for 2s right now in that regard. But I got a very a follower that I did not know, a very interesting side plot. These are the 2. So obviously they keep going back to the narrative. These are the 2 youngest teams in an NBA finals, right? And OKC would be the second youngest team or the youngest team all time to win it. It's them and like the 70s Blazers or something like this, right? And the narrative that got thrown at me was full career arc KD coming back because OKC has all those firsts that are like expendable right now. And they have an abundance of them and wouldn't mortgage the future to get KD to come back if they lose this finals and run it back next year with KD.
Wouldn't that be something?
It's just my brain hadn't even gone there.
He would fit, I think, right?
Oh my God, yeah. It'd be epic. It'd be such a good fit to just have him there as like the wing side guy instead of Lou Dort shooting 8 threes a night,
Yeah, I mean you gotta keep Lou Dort on the team, but like that would That would work. That would work for me. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
someone get him in the script writing room. That dude knows what's up.
Yeah. Numi's right about this one though. The puck. I would have loved to have seen a game 7 in the puck. I don't know if you've seen how hard the Panthers have been celebrating right now, Nez, but
Mm-mm.
it's like, oh, we're pushing 48-hour benders now. Like we're pushing guys going around their neighborhood with the cup, ringing doorbells at 4 a.m, dropping off blizzards and telling people to touch the cup and stuff. Like puck guys just they got it so different when it comes to celebrating.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Dropping off blizzards, like
Yeah, like their thing for a bit there was once Marchand joined the team, they were undefeated the nights that they had blizzards, like DQ
Dairy
blizzards.
Queen.
Yeah, like DQ blizzards touching tribute to David Kitchens, this sort
Right.
of thing.
That's what I thought.
They spent $38,000 on blizzards after they won. giving out to employees, to fans, to whatever. They just
Are these
took
small or medium blizzards? Do we think? It's probably small.
I don't know what they're going with. I'll tell you what the GTO order for a blizzard is, though.
I mean, there's only
Score?
one answer.
No, score and peanut butter cups.
Oh, see, I'm just like tried and true Oreo.
Oreo,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oreo's the chalk.
Oreo. It is chalk.
Yeah.
It is chalk, but it's chalk for a reason, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. All right, so I need to figure out how much is a blizzard? Like $5 now?
Yeah, maybe.
It's been a minute. I go to boutique ice cream places now.
Relax, we get it. You won the contest yesterday.
I go to Handles. If you know, you know. Yeah. Let's say it's $6, $38,000. How many blizzards is that? That's like
no idea. It's like
over 6,000 blizzards.
6,000.
All right, dude, we got to address the elephant in the room.
What's the elephant in the room?
Why does Numi think that Will Fuller was bad at football?
Dodging. Okay. Let's reset the scene here, and I'll let you say your piece. So this is going back to a comp from like 2 years ago where we told Pete, we told Pete that the comp for Byron Buxton was Will Fuller,
and it was spot on. It was spot on, and now he's beating the allegations. I love that for him. I love it. It's so good that he's staying healthy and putting together a great season, you know? And I like to think that if Will Fuller in his prime stayed healthy, he'd also put together a great season.
Yeah.
He's bursting out.
Okay, I think this holds true.
And now he's changed. No. This is why I've been dodging the conversation, because he's saying I said things I didn't say.
I think the comp still holds true.
It does. It's just Numi's hearing things I never said, and it was a long time ago. It was a long time ago.
Definitely moving the goalposts.
I'm done with it. I'm absolutely done with it.
That's funny. That's funny though that we're circling back to 3 years ago takes. Yeah, never capitulate on Royce Lewis. Let that be a lesson. All right, dude. Let's jump over to the platform. Let's have some fun today. We got an 8-game slate. Underdog broke up the slates again there. It would have been 13 games. So now we got 8 on the first one, and we got whatever is that, 5 on the second one, something like that. Creates for very interesting dynamic because, man, are there some good hitting conditions today on both slates, but in particular on the main slate there, Nez. So we'll get into that. But first things first, got to give a shout out to our guy, Mitchell. Mitchell's always hanging out in the chat here. Celebrated his birthday yesterday and goes second in the daytime diamond here with, I believe, a Trevor Williams pitching share there. Was that Trevor Williams in the Daytime Diamond?
I didn't enter the Daytime Diamond, but
Uh-huh.
wait, no, maybe I did.
I think it was Trevor Williams yesterday because that would make sense with the Wood correlation, Devers as a one-off, and then stacking up Arizona there.
I mean, that is just brilliant.
Yep.
If that's
Love
what
to
that
see the
is.
leverage. And then for the second time in 2 days, so he
It's
takes down the
Gavin.
main contest
Sorry.
as well. The Colton Cowser. Colton Cowser finds his way into the winning lineup for the second day in a row. Yeah, shout out to Trackers.
Yeah, it was Gavin in the daytime.
Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, Tampa Bay producing winners out here. Awesome team from Trackus there. One off Matt Olson, one off Schwarber, and Adley Rutschman finding himself in the winning lineup for probably the first time ever this season. So
yeah, we talked about it. What was it at the start of the week there that he's really heated up in the month of June? But yeah, that Matt Olson score was a have to have it. The Colton Cowser score was nice to go alongside that Baltimore stuff, and then Kyle Schwarber getting home in our pick'em for the home run, and then nobody else doing their part yesterday. Jeremy Pena and company there. Some other friends and family in here, man. JC Sala again. We're seeing it up here. Ben Roethlisberger, I gotta hit him up because I missed this one to do a review segment on the Paywall show on Tuesday. He won the slate on Monday night, so got to give him some love. Won the slate on Monday night and then backs it up with a 5th place here. Turned me up, friend of the show as well, right on up here. Junior Caminero was kind of the only difference in this. Oh, I guess it was Acuna and Caminero who were different in this one. But yeah, mad respect to those all at the top here. Cam's always watching. Car Park's always watching. Love to see it.
yeah, I love Ben Roethlisberger. Such a hilarious name.
Oh yeah, so good. Nez, let's move into today's slate. I will bring up the beautiful unabated interface to do so. I'm also, guys, keeping my eyes out for the WNBA projections to come out, because if they come out before we hit weekly winners, we might have to hop on some stuff there. But as you guys can see, 50% off. Save more than 50% on the WNBA projections there. Look at that sweet graph based on their 100 unit size with the pick'em stuff. We've built a couple of them on stream, but obviously, jamming those at lock have proven to be incredibly profitable. So there you go.
Apparently those get dropped a little earlier than NBA. I think they might actually be out.
Okay, cool. So maybe we can dip in to those ones. I know it's 11:30 usually my time is that's kind of like my benchmark, but
I'm pretty sure it came out a half hour ago, I think.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. There you go. So 10:30 my time. All right, Nez, let's talk this through. 8 games here. We got that Rays small park there. We got the Tigers visiting in that one. Proved very good and profitable over the last 2 days for visiting clubs there, that being Baltimore. We're in the winning lineup back-to-back days there. We got Baltimore then going to Yankee Stadium, but we got a whole bunch of lefty stuff going on there with a 9 total. Then we got the Blue Jays, one of the few indoor games here, but a good hitting environment. The Marlins is the other indoor game with a bad hitting environment with the 9, but it's still the Marlins there. Phillies hosting the Mets there. Looks like kind of like my favorite ball game to watch, but not like my favorite ball game to play kind of thing. Cardinals have extremely warm conditions there for this Reds game with the 9 total. Twins have some, warm for their conditions, but the coolest of the slate, but still warm. I think it was like low 80s or something like that. The wind left a little bit to be desired there. And then we got this monster total, the nightcap on this slate with this Rockies and D-backs. Zach Gallen been going so poorly. Austin Gomber on the other side there, 11.5 90 degrees, wind blowing out at Coors Field. First game of that slate. What are the macro takeaways?
Coors Field for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and particularly the Rockies, man. This is like the ultimate Rockies slate, as
Correct.
in the actual team themselves going up against Gallon with these hitting conditions, all with ADPs in the 30s. So
Yep.
that's how you play this slate. You just draft the Rockies and hope everything works out. They are far and away my favorite team to draft today at cost.
I'm glad you and I are seeing eye to eye on that one because I put Michael Tolia, fresh back up from the minors, heating up again on the cover today. Yeah, I am. I'm feeling that one as well, dude. I looked at those ADPs. I looked at the recency stuff with Gallon. I've looked at the pitch mix with Gallon. I've looked at how the stuff plus has been on the decline for Gallon, and I'm just like, man, if Gallon can't get right here, and it's not a good spot to get right because it's at Coors. It's a good team to get right against, but it's a bad spot at Coors, wind blowing out, heavy temperatures up kind of deal. So yeah, I was in lockstep with you, man. I gravitated to Tolia and McMahon, who were even further down than like Goodman and that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know, maybe a little Mickey Moniak in your life for the handedness advantage. Brenton Doyle. That was definitely my favorite spot on the slate relative to ADP as well there. Just to further double down on these notions here, not the only good hitting conditions, good ones in St. Louis, but as we've noted, it's been the toughest park for home runs in all of baseball this year thus far. Now, some of that is weather, some of that is results based, some of that is yada yada, small sample. But hot, humid, and out to left at 10 miles per hour there. Minnesota spot, I believe, where's the temp on that one? 85 still. So 96, 85, 92, 84, indoors bad, indoor pitcher environment, indoor good hitting environment, especially for lefties. Evergreen, the pop-up showers narrative with Steinbrenner here, but 86 degrees there, and then 82 at Yankee Stadium. So everything is popping in terms of runs, and it's kind of reflected in the ballpark totals here.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I think for us to talk about this slate, it's obviously with the caveat of like, well, if you're gonna pivot off of Coors, here's where you go. And we see Coors fail a lot. Now, do I think it's gonna fail today? No, but I think you need to, you got there. That doesn't mean that it won't. Doesn't mean that it won't fail. So, I think it is fun to kind of look around the slate, see where you can get different, and try to attack it. Because you're going to have to if you're trying to win this slate. You can't. I mean, you could if you want to, but don't think it'd be advised by anybody to fully spend your drafts on Coors. You got to find a way to get different. And there are fun spots to get different. If you just pretend that Coors fails, there's a lot of fun places to go today.
Okay, so let's start talking about some of those fun places because according to the Ballpark Pal and some other resources, there the Yankees have the next highest team total. Then the Phillies. Oh, actually, it's Phillies then Yankees on Ballpark Pal. I was looking at some other resources, and mine were saying Yankees then Phillies, so that's kind of interesting there just in general. Cardinals with probably their highest total I've seen all season there with the 505 at home. And then you got Braves in a bad place to hit, but still pushing north of that 5. I cut off. I'm looking at this. I cut off. There you go. The Tigers one at 544 as well there. So that's obviously a spot that's popping. That Steinbrenner Field that we continue routinely keep going back to the well on.
Yeah, for me, man, I'm really into. I don't know who the Sox are going to throw because Davis Martin scratched, but I'm really into the Blue Jays today.
Okay,
just a bad team. I think that they're hitting really well right now, and a lot of pieces that, at least like from where I'm coming from, a week, like 2 weeks ago, like really slept on the Blue Jays, and Vladdy was pissing me off. a lot of reasons to be mad at the Blue Jays, but I think one of the good things about the Blue Jays is like we know what their lineup's going to be, right or left, and the White Sox are a bad team. So I think if we just bank on, okay, like White Sox are scrambling now, their projected starter just got scratched. Maybe they're in for a shellacking against Toronto. Toronto's really easy to get to. And I like the way they look right now, man. The top of the order is a pretty fun stack at the moment.
I like that, dude. I like where you're at there. That's a good contrarian call out. I'm taking a little look here at who was used yesterday out of the bullpen for the White Sox, because that might factor into this being a, committee style approach today. If you're trying to call up a starter or whatever, because I haven't seen anything yet. And they taxed the bullpen yesterday. 14 pitches, 24, 10, 6, 12, 72. Tyler Gilbert with 20. And then everybody else is, AAA or Tyler Alexander as a long relief guy. So that is also very interesting in doubling down on your notion of, even if it is a bullpen game, we don't love attacking bullpen games, traditionally speaking. But when the bullpen is dog shit and you blew a save last night and have all these guys throw yesterday, literally all of them threw yesterday. That looks like a bullpen you want to attack.
Yeah, 100%. This is something that I think we could take advantage of here today.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cool. Nez, I'm going to jump over to the rankings tab and we can talk through some starting pitcher and some stack stuff, unless there's anything else you want to say total wise based on what you're seeing here. I do think, sorry to say a question and then cut you off. I just realized it's not on the screen for you. There's that. And then there's also, I had the same thought as this, that Ricky had. Why are people so low on Mizorowski today? All secondary sources putting the Twins so high there. I mean, we're talking about a dude who was so strong in his first start, then they get a rainout start, then he gets pushed one day, obviously coming off of that ankle, but we weren't scared to play him the other day. He gets a decent environment, especially relative to the slate, to be pitching in, and he throws like 103 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's really just because it's because of the walks.
Okay.
Awesome start for him in his debut, and it's probably a good idea to take the other side of those of whatever market you're seeing there for the Twins. I'd probably go lower on a lot of those too. I like Jacob Mizorowski, but like he's had big time walk issues in the minors, and those don't just like tend to just go away when you get called up. So he has major implosion risk in his range of outcomes because of the walks, which nice. Baseball guys we're well aware. Walks can lead to some really bad outcomes. So that's why.
Good shout. Yeah, good shout. Wind slightly in, as we noted, in that ballpark, but still 86 degrees, which is pretty good for that park in general. Byron Buxton smoking hot, homer twice yesterday, 4 of his last 5 there. Matt Wallner, you get the handedness back in the lineup there. Willie Castro from the good side. Larnach back in there from the left side. So, yeah, this spot doesn't look amazing, but I'm comfortable clicking him as a scroll the F down in the pitcher.
Yeah, no, I am too. I've mostly been going to Joe Ryan, but okay. No, I think he has a pretty high ceiling.
How not to pivot completely because this is Underdog Daily, but what do you think his salary is on Redacted?
Who? Jacob?
One start. And remember that we've talked about how it's been results based. The pricing.
I mean, what is it? 9K?
It's 9K. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny. You're gonna
second big
that's
league. Second big
what's his ownership gonna be, like 5%, or do you think is Redacted change and it's just a bunch of fucking slappies now?
I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, man. Let's pivot into the ADPs there, unless you have anything else to say on the macro.
Yeah, we got Grant Taylor starting, maybe opening, but he is listed as the starting pitcher today for the White Sox.
That name rings a bell for some reason. That's a prospecty dude, isn't it?
I think you're. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Actually, yeah, I think he was a pretty exciting prospect.
Okay, current role, middle relief. Wait a second. All right. Grant Taylor of the White Sox, age 23, righty 6'3". He has been in 4 games in a relief role this year. He's only pitched 1 inning in each outing by the looks of it here. Strikeout rate looks nice, but obviously reliever stuff and only 4 innings to dabble in. Former second round pick, 12th overall, 50th or 12th in the second round, so 51st overall there. Take a little look, sees here. Double A before. It looks like he skipped triple A. Okay.
He had a really strong spring training.
Okay.
I remember that. He is their 6th ranked prospect, 60 fastball, 60 slider. He was injured in 24. Or he was injured in 23.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's been a reliever so far in 25 for the big league club, like you said, skipped AAA, but did make 6 starts in AA, 9 relief appearances. So it looks like he's going to be an opener. But
all right, good to know. At least we know the handedness right now, and opener plays well into our thesis that that team's going to be running a bullpen day with a depleted bullpen, and that makes me think the next guy up would be Tyler Alexander.
Yeah,
because he's sorry, only guy who didn't pitch yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Obviously not in our player pool and not to play, but to stack against sounds interesting. All right, Nez, let's do the damn thing here. We got Zach Wheeler as SP1. We got Max Fried going against some of those Baltimore lefties, although they do have Jordan Westberg back now and he's been raking, so that strengthens the righties at the start of the lineup there. You said you've been going to Joe Ryan a decent amount, and then we got Zach Gallen at Coors, clearly a line in the sand for these first 3 in terms of ADP. Do you see it the same?
Yep. Yeah. This is definitely how I have it. I don't love the pitching today outside of this, Wheeler, Fried, Ryan, and Jake Miz. That's definitely those are my top 4 with a bullet. But thankfully, Jake Miz ADP 33. But I'm not wasting any time getting to him if Joe Ryan goes.
Okay,
assuming he's the 3rd to go.
Yeah, so there's no bounce back Gallen, despite seeing the Rockies strike out 1,000,000 times against the Braves. No bounce back Gallen for you.
No, thank you. No.
Okay.
The ADP is atrocious.
And then you're just full fading Steinbrenner there. You're more trusting of the bats there than going to Shane Baz or Jack Flaherty. I mean, 2 professional ass pitchers.
2 good pitchers for sure. But I like the matchup for both of these offenses, though. Both these teams I think are scarier against right-handed pitching. So, it's a tall task I think for Flaherty and Baz both, especially in Florida there. So yeah, give me Miz over those 2.
Cool. Yeah, well said. I misspoke. Sorry, I said Tyler Anderson. I meant Tyler Gilbert as the long relief guy, lefty out of the pen that would probably be second up for the White Sox. My apologies.
Because they have 2 Tylers, right?
Yes, I believe so.
That's why I was like, I thought that one dude just threw 27 pitches.
Yeah, I think it's Tyler Gilbert, who actually has a 28% strikeout rate this season, which is amongst, Wheeler, Flaherty, Ryan, then Tyler Gilbert, then Jacob. But Jacob Mizrowski's is, one start sample. So there's that. Pitching on the night slate is kind of nice. Like Gore, Hunter Brown, Pavetta, Kirby, DeGrom. That's pretty nice for a short slate.
Yeah, that's where all the good pitching is chilling right now.
Yeah.
Is on the split slate. The split slate's pretty loaded.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, Zach Wheeler, just if you look at everything, he's the best in K rate right now. The walk percentage is down at the 5.6 range. His xFIP leads the slate with a 2.55. Actually, Nez, I got to just get something off my chest while I rattle these numbers off. I saw like a Instagram reel come across when I was doing the death scroll, the doom scroll or whatever this morning. And I was looking at this guy, he's going full deep dive, how betting on baseball, you need advanced metrics. And then he goes like whip. And I lost it. And I was like, this guy's got 700,000 followers following his bets, and we get 200 views, 200 live views a day. What are we talking about here? Insanity.
Oh, it's a rigged game, brother.
Oh my God, what are we doing wrong with the algo treatment? Holy, what the fuck?
You need to talk more advanced stats.
Yeah, let's talk about whip with our starters here. Let's break it all down. Just for those playing at home, Zach Wheeler advanced stat of whip 0.89 this season, also to lead the slate.
That's actually very impressive.
That is actually very impressive. All right, Nez. Yeah, let's talk about the next grouping of pitcher. You're gonna stay pretty tethered to these four, as you've indicated. Are they in this order as well?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Max Fried is certainly not fried. That signing is aging so beautifully for the Yankees. Like after losing Cole, like him and Rodon have been a revolution, man.
They can just take anybody who's like good and make them like really good. They have some of the best R&D in pitching in baseball right now.
Which is crazy given their ballpark. You thought they would just get BABIP to death,
Mm-hmm.
Like
or just like homered to death, right?
Yeah, right. Like homered to death is better. Those fly ball to home run rates that are just like falling out, right? Mm-hmm. Oh man, I love this. Don't show that guy OBP. Oh, some kind words from Tyler here. I'd argue the opposite, that we don't need more viewers. This is right from Best Ball Viper. Just water it down, baby. Just water
Yep. That's all you need.
Oh man, the whole chat is buzzing today on a Friday. I love it. Nez, once upon a time, Spencer Turnbull was kind of nice with it. Gets a pretty decent matchup there against the White Sox, who are primarily right-handed, and the lefties that they have don't, they leave a little something to be desired in terms of pop. Brady Singer had a nice start to the season, but the weather is playing pretty nice for hitting in that one, so maybe we're staying clear. Who would be your favorite? Scroll the F down after this 4.
Oh man. Well, I mean, Flaherty and Boz are. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. That's as far as my pitching pool goes today. Like, I'm sticking here. There's not really any reason to get cuter than this today.
All right, checks out to me. And I mean, you're always gonna have access to one of them because only 6 pitchers can go every single draft, and you've cut Zach Gallen out of the pool, who presumably goes every single draft there. And even if he doesn't, you're going to be left with one of these last ones, as long as you're not stacking up Detroit or stacking up Tampa Bay against yourself.
Yeah, it's all you need to do is just avoid that self stack, and you're good to go. So this is where I'm at, man. I can't really. You mentioned Turnbull. For the, once upon a time, that was our guy.
Yep.
I won't be doing that.
Spencer Turnbull was supposed to be the next big thing in the back end of that Detroit starting pitcher rotation, when it was like Verlander, Scherzer, like that next coming wave was going to be like Casey Mize, Scooball, Turnbull a little bit older than them, but he was kind of like the bridge to the next young guys who would eventually become the ace and then move there. And then he became a full resurgence project for the Phillies that one year. Yeah.
Yeah, almost, man. Almost was. It's a shame, man.
Yeah.
You know,
His
a few things go differently. He's probably, many, many million searcher.
Dude, I think he had a no-no or almost threw a no-no.
I think he's an almost guy.
Almost no-no guy. Yeah. His picture reminds me of a young Ryan Dempster.
That's a good shout.
Thank you. Comp guy strikes again there. Actually, Dempster was on a podcast with I don't know. I just saw like a real clip of it on the podcast that Eric Hosmer and someone, maybe Alex Gordon, but Eric Hosmer for sure hosts a podcast now. And Dempster was telling some great Jim Leland stories about him just hooting heaters when he was in the dugout with Miami Marlins when they went on that World Series run. Call up Miggy and like, yeah.
Hooting heaters?
Yeah, man, smoking darts, hooting heaters in the dugout. You ever heard that before?
Hooting heaters. Just want you to stop saying odd shit.
Oh man, puck guy strikes again. All right, Nez. We got all these Arizona guys up at the top. We got the usual suspects in Acuna and Judge adjacent to them. Kind of a split crowd today. Projection on the site is the same. ADP, nobody has a 1 in it, so you can tell that people are flip-flopping between the two of them there. Carroll with the Q tag. Allegedly, he was lobbying to play yesterday, and then they were like, no, stay out of this. He got hit late in the ball game against Toronto in the hand on the getaway day, or the day before the getaway day, the Wednesday. I guess he got hit on the Wednesday and then lobbied to play. Sorry, you're.
Yep, it was 2 days ago.
Okay. I interpret it as he's playing baseball today and he's back in there. Obviously, it's lefty, but the fact that he was lobbying to play, X-rays came back negative. I think it's just a classic. Give him the day off. A guy who rarely takes days off on the getaway day, and then let him get fired up for the weekend series here.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume if he can play, he would play. Because there's no fracture, so there's really no risk of injury. It's just like, can you swing a bat? His hand probably hurts like fucking shit, so I'm sure it's hard to swing the bat. Yeah, it was gruesome. He's lucky. It could have been way worse. It hit him in like, the it was like the meaty part of like his like inside. It was like it hit him like right here because he's lefty, right? So it like kind of got him right in the meaty part of the pinky.
Okay.
So I'm sure that's tough to swing a bat when you're hurt, but yeah, I would I think you could live with a swap in baseball. So I would take Corbin Carroll.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I mean, I took him in my first draft there. I haven't done an abundance yet. It's interesting. I'm on the tweet machine here because Evan says there's a report that Carroll's sitting, but it's not official yet. I found this like M Sports something like 10 minutes ago. Battles hand injury. I don't know. They got like 12,000 followers. I don't know M1 Sports. I'll click on their website.
Virus, AI slot.
Sergey Madison. Yeah, I don't know who Sergey Madison is as this reporter. But yeah, outside of that one, I don't really see anybody else reporting it. Not expected to play Fantasy Pros 40 minutes ago. So I don't know what their source is.
RotoWire says he's going to sit. Manager Torey Lavello said on Sirius that he's expected to be out of the lineup Friday.
Okay, good to know. Because I just clicked on who the resident expert was, and it was this guy with a poodle who looks like he's 8. University of Arizona
fantasy
alumni.
football expert.
Fantasy football expert. Make this your new banner, please, Nez. Okay, so Fantasy Pros reporting. Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Yeah, the official report came from. Did you say that it came? Well, it came straight from Lavello on the radio. That's what you said.
Yep, yeah, that was on Sirius XM.
Okay, cool. All right, so maybe we can start soft fading Corbin Carroll. I wouldn't want to get caught with my pants down in that game environment there. I guess that means you bring up Perdomo and he starts leading off. What would your speculation be in terms of D-backs lineup today? Well, I guess Marte leads off versus a lefty. So Marte for sure. Gurriel and Suarez will be up in that 3-4 as they're prone to do. So Perdomo hitting 2.
That sounds right.
Perdomo's ADP. Wow. There you go.
Perdomo's just like hilarious, man, because he's like one of the highest scoring players in Underdog right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's rocking like a 760 OPS, like slugging 400, but just an RBI machine. Just the clutchest player we've ever seen in our day.
Yeah. Oh, here you go. Tyler, so smart right there. Highest owned already is Perdomo at 30 plus. There you go. There's your scroll of the day, man.
Some guys just no ball. Is he better from the right side or the left side though?
Good question. I actually do not know.
Probably doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. He's probably just good in general.
No, he's better from the right side this season.
Yes, that's exactly what we needed.
Lefty killer. All right, let's get some Perdomo up in my life. I'm fully autoing today, so let me just got it.
Hey, it worked the other day, so good to go.
If it worked once, it can work again for sure.
Yeah. He won his $10 only. Cut him some slack. Hey, once upon a time, I wrote some stuff for Fantasy Pros as a fantasy expert back in the day. You guys can go find it in the archives.
Oh.
Yeah. Go digging. Old John Boy's been around for a minute. He just doesn't tell anybody. Okay, Nez, that was a good find there. Do you have a lean between Acuna and Judge at the top, or would you rather just start taking Arizona guys? Schwarber homered yesterday and has pretty good homer odds today. Again, with the 86 degrees versus the Mets situation. Yeah, thoughts?
Sorry, I was reading the comments. One more time.
Just thoughts on top end ADP. Who's your favorite pick? 101.
I think I'm always going to be Judge.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm Judge pretty easily. But shout out Ronald Acuna playing some insanely good baseball. But even before those two though, like I got to be honest, I think Marte is my 101.
Okay, so you are going to move up the Arizona guys over.
Marte for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me 2 at bats of Ketel Marte versus a lefty and in those hitting conditions and just see what happens. Maybe he's lucky enough to get 3.
He might get 2 in 1 inning.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. Actually, here's a good macro question. Like when everybody's jamming Coors and they're all jamming one side of Coors, are you fine taking one-offs at Coors? Like for the Arizona side in particular?
So I think in principle, dude, I think it's bad.
Yeah, me too.
But like these games, I think what I'm slowly coming to realize, and this is certainly Uber results focused, like these games like defy logic. They do. These games are so hard that like you can't, like you shouldn't be building Uber logically in order to hit your top 0.1% outcome.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, like logic tells you no, you should be stacking. Like that's bad to take them because if you get one, you're gonna you take one, you gotta then the other guys are probably doing well too. Well, I don't know, man. Not always. There's people like you have to compete against other fucking Galbrainers. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So other people are not playing fair. You might not need to play fair 100% of the time either. No, I am always going to resort to stacking. Like if I get the stack, I'm taking the stack.
Yep.
But people don't play fair here. You know, people, nobody is winning. You know, no one is winning with good morals here.
Yeah, no. I mean, Tyler, going full circle to where the scroll the F down originated from is just draft more unowned players. And I mean, baseball is where it originated. You know, it's the least projectable of the sports. It's the place where projections, matter the least as well. So it's like the hardest to project, and the outcomes are binary. So like, just scroll. That's kind of where I'm at too. And like, maybe if you agree that all the chalk is good chalk today and you can't draft 25 lineups, well, maybe you can only draft 5 contrarian ones there instead, and take like a binary results approach to this contest today and be like, I'm not going to fight everyone for Coors because I know it's the best spot. So does everybody else know it's the best spot. So unless I'm doing contrarian Coors, I'm going to do contrarian everything kind of deal.
Yeah, I do normally generally agree as far as like taking unknown players. But I wonder how many unknown players is optimal. You know, like I think guys are unknown for a reason. So taking too many unknown guys probably is bad. But
chat's on fire right now, dude. Chat's on fire right now. Draft contrarian because VinDP is just gonna have 150 variations of dog. That's so good. One off Marte just means that someone else has Marte plus Perdomo that you won't have, kind of deal. So that's true too. Like you can just do like one off, and if he's the guy who homers twice, because Purple Yosh is saying like guy hitting 3 home runs barely means shit for the other 2 guys who score, right? Like that's true. Because if you're literally just trying to put home run parlays together, which, low key wins these slates, like the correlation between homer isn't as strong as like, on Redacted, where you can do full 5-mans and then still have to fill out 3 more roster spots. The reason 5-mans work so well on Redacted is because there's salary saving in the middle, where it's like Perdomo is going to be outproducing his lineup spot at a point per dollar thing. So if you do 5-man Coors today, like you're getting a value in there. Yeah. Anyways. Nez, let's talk about the stacks and stuff like that. You alluded to Toronto being mispriced there. Let's leave Coors off the equation, although we can circle back on the notion that we both really like Rockies relative to their price tags there. The highest was of the 27 variety, and of the top 3 Rockies, none of them are my personal favorite Rockies. My favorite Rockies are McMahon, Tolia, and Doyle today in the stuff that I was building. So take that for what you will. I guess Goodman's probably the most likely to homer. But yeah, I was really liking those 3 and the handedness advantage you get from 2 of them. So yeah.
What's my question?
God, favorite stacks. We're excluding Colorado, and you already talked about Blue Jays.
I did. Yeah, I was like, I thought I already told you this, dude. The Reds and Cardinals both have really high run totals today, but the Cardinals for our games are absolutely horrific to draft. And it's Lars Nootbaar right now is just like the worst player of all time now, which is like horrific for my best ball bags, and just doesn't make for like a fun drafting experience to draft the Cardinals, because not a lot of guys that are fun to draft. But high run total, Brady Singer kind of sucks. So I think contrarian Cardinals, at least like 1 or 2 in a lineup can make sense. Probably no more than that. And then on the flip side, man, Reds too. If you look at Cincinnati's ADPs in this game, they are very, very, very affordable, and I probably like them more. But both these teams, I think, are in good spots.
Yeah, cool. Obviously, the plethora of infield options makes them harder to draft, and the fact that Lars Nootbaar is on such a skid, he didn't play yesterday, so back in there today. but won't be leading off. Donovan has been scorching hot over the last 30 days. He's hitting damn near 400 there. So like Donovan looks like a good one as like a leadoff one-off or like doing a two-man as you alluded to there. But yeah, the lack of outfield options to draft them makes it harder. The more palatable of the red side here, where it does have some of these left-handed outfield options that you can get to and scroll to. Good shouts in that game. Tigers is getting some love in the chat there. I like Tigers. I'm a respecter of Jack Flaherty and Shane Baz, but both of them, throw hard, hit hard at isolated times, and that park is just playing so nice for it. And you get one of those Tampa pop-up showers, which is a non-zero chance on any given night, and you get a start shortened for one of these guys, and you got to go to a long relief guy that could play up in a big way for run scoring. So yeah, I do like me some Kerry Bonds buried down here at the 34-8 mark. Meadows, he's been fluctuating between the top and the bottom of the lineup. So if you want to mix him in there, if you think he's going to be leading off, could be fun as well.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like way too recency biased here, but will Parker Meadows even start today?
Yeah, versus righty. I think so. I think he'll probably lead off.
He's been terrible.
Yeah.
Just very, very, very not good.
You know who hasn't been terrible? Wenzel Perez.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I think the lineup looks better without Parker Meadows, and they just like let him ride Pine. But I'm trying to think about how they would do this, because if Parker Meadows doesn't play, like I actually don't know like who's playing center field. Because like what I think you would do is let Trey Sweeney see the lineup and let Parker Meadows sit, but that's like, it's having a mid off between two lefties there. But Parker Meadows has been pretty bad. Okay.
Yeah, good shout there. Yeah, may or may not be in the lineup there. He's been fluctuating, as we alluded to. Yeah, Wenzel, Kerry Bonds, Riley Green, Torres, Colt Keith, and then figure it out would probably be my guess, right? And then there's Meadows, a catcher spot, and then who's probably going to be Dingler, not Rake Rogers, and yeah, who am I missing? McKinstry and Sweeney. Yeah, There's definitely a path for him not playing today, so that's a good shout.
I'll probably take their like core four today, meaning Torres, Barry Bonds, Riley Green, and Torkelson, and then maybe throw in a one-off. That'd probably be how I play it.
Yeah, I like that shout. Yeah, Ray's lefties kind of buried as well there. So we like to play them when they're cheap. Atlanta kind of jumps out to me. I know they have a decent total. I know they have some studs. The Atlanta kind of jumps out to me as like the team that I'm most likely to soft fade with high ADPs.
Yeah, they seem like a pretty easy fade today.
Yeah, like just a bad park to hit in, and yeah. Edward Cabrera looked kind of nice yesterday versus the Phillies too.
Yeah, he's definitely not bad.
Yeah, not that impacts this slate at all, but just to circle back to the thought process. All right, Nez, let's jump in and rip some contrarian stacks out here. 4,800, 30K to first. Or 30K total, 3K to first. Let's keep filling this, man, because we got a hashtag make it bigger, man. We
certainly do. I will be right back. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Hold that thought.
Sounds good. Parker's 100% playing. The team loves him. They need him to get going. He's going to continue to play. Yeah, that's fair. Well, Ivan Herrera, that's a good shout for a pick to click. What else we got? Alex got a work meeting. Got to pause. Lock in Perdomo. Okay. See you on the yacht. I like that one. Wow, the ADPs, look at this, guys. The ADPs have fluctuated even since we were just looking at those there. Wheeler is now the 101 here. Very interesting. We'll see what Chris decides here. We got friends and family in here with Ricky, Chris, and Jay Baconator. And then we got some unknown screen names. Say what up if you happen to be Benny83 or Cosnos. Ketel Marte goes. Now, that's who I was going to take. So let's do some contrarian stacking and take SP1 on the slate in Zach Wheeler. Obviously, the Mets are a tough matchup, but at least, a lot of those sticks going to be right-handed to deal with there. I mean, you're going to have to deal with Nimmo, Lindor from his bad side, and Soto. But, man, Wheeler has been beautiful this year. Now, Ricky starting off that Toronto stack stuff that Nez alluded to. We'll see what Jay Baconator does here, if he does some Arizona pairings. Goes with the Max Fried and a Eugenio Suarez. Everybody playing chicken with Corbin Carroll right now and the Q tag. Benny takes that grenade. As you alluded to here, Nez, pitching going quite early there with those three. We could do some red stuff. You said you liked reds. Buxton's hot right now. We could do Lourdes Gurriel and do contrarian Arizona, or let's take Colorado. Ellie. Take Ellie? All right.
Yeah. And then I'm going to blow your mind.
Oh my. I can't wait.
We're gonna do something nutty.
I imagine Chris takes Gurriel and Naylor. Yeah. All right. What do you like?
All right. We're going to do one more one-off. Who's your favorite one-off today to hit a homer that's left?
Matt Olson. What'd you say?
Fine. That's fine. You can do Matt Olson.
Yeah, Matt Olson, I guess. I don't particularly love it, to be honest. I think I don't know. I might take a Kerry Bonds there. I really like Kerry Bonds today. I honestly, I don't. Me too. If I'm gonna fade like the upper echelon of ADP, I don't really like any of these guys. Like I probably won't have a ton of Ellie today. I probably won't have a ton of Buxton, a ton of Matt Olson. I'll probably be scrolling.
Did you see who's back in the major leagues? Our guy Ryan Noda.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he had a 20 point outing the other day.
For the uninitiated, Ryan Noda and Seth Brown were the cool guys before it was cool. Scroll the F downs of Soderstrom and Jacob Wilson.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
These guys were doing it for us.
Even before Shea Bangaliers was popular, we were playing some Ryan Noda, Seth Brown skinnies.
Kind of like a little White Sox mini. Spoiler alert.
Vargas and somebody?
Yeah, it'll have to be Vargas and Benintendi's.
Oh, that's gross. You want to do White Sox then?
But I do want to do it, yeah.
Okay.
This is how you win. As they say, John, this is what the risk takers are doing.
This is what the risk takers are doing. The risk takers, I don't mind this spot, I guess. Our guy Chris is just jamming a 5-man Arizona stack there with some contrarian bats at the bottom. Grichuk as a potential lefty killer, but also introduces the potential for pinch hit. If he does some damage, he'll stay in there. Nez told me Benintendi homered yesterday. Actually, it was a grand slam. 23 fantasy points there. Left-handed power plays better at Toronto. Then right-handed these days when they moved that wall in the bullpen. Good home run park thus far relative to home run factors on Statcast. Are
Which
we
part?
Toronto?
Oh, nice.
You didn't know this?
I don't keep up with the park factors as much as I should.
Blow your mind in a second here. Let's see if it's changed at all since I looked. Probably. Okay. We'll do both handedness. We will do 1 year. Filter out. As you guys can see, it's catching up now. Sutter Health is playing better than Coors, as we've been saying all season long. Love to see it. Shocking that Camden Yards is up here. Dodgers, Arizona, and then the Rogers Center. But then if you filter by home runs, the Rogers Center is third. Dodger Stadium, kind of surprising to see them all the way up there, but might have something to do with the quality of hitters they have on their team in a 1 year sample. But yeah, and then if you do take my word for it, because we got on the clock here, if you filter by handedness, I think the lefties play quite well in terms of home runs at fourth best stadium for left-handed home runs at Rogers there, opposed to the right-hand side. We're on the clock here. Nez, how do you want to round this one out?
Can we still take one of your Tigers?
Yeah, probably. Just do.
Yeah, because it's not going to be tool shed.
Nez wins with a 2-1-1, and now he forces me to start building 2-1-1s on stream. We're going home run chasing.
Oh no! Go Friedel! Go Friedel! Go Friedel!
We missed it. Gary Bonds. Gary Bonds. It is. Home run factor. Right-handed hitters. Oh, right-handed hitters are also smacking the ball at Rogers Center to the tune of number 3. So, yeah, that park's just playing well for everybody right now in terms of home runs, which is kind of surprising because Vlad and Bo and those guys aren't necessarily breaking slates, don't have an abundance of them.
I know. I'm trying to make sense of that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Sure is. All right, Nez. We could rip one more draft, or we could do home run pick'ems. Which would you prefer today?
Let's do home run pick'ems because we are rapidly approaching my 2-hour stopgap.
Here we go. Home runs. Actually, reminder for you guys before we do here. We're gonna have a pre-recorded video series thanks to the people at the Solver. If you guys did not see yesterday's video utilizing the Solver, kind of walking through the initial stuff there, pretty cool stuff if you ask me. But then now we're gonna have a video series added for you guys. It'll most likely be out Fridays for members and then open to everybody on Saturdays. So some bonus football related content as we go forward. Nez and I recorded that yesterday. A little bit of slow draft stuff, a little bit of how to walk through the Best Ball Explorer, and then a little bit of using the Best Ball Assistant during the draft window. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. I think we did the $3 schnauzer together yesterday.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm excited to get that released to you guys.
Yeah, pretty cool team too. Not something we typically normally do.
It was a really good team.
Yeah, it was a good team, but it was a gross team all at once. Nez, some potential home run calls for you. Let's maybe start with Colorado and see if they're mispriced in Coors or not.
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't know. Doyle 332. Like, this is not normal Coors conditions where like Coors play up for like, runs, but not home runs. Like, dude, just doing like Tolia and Perdomo together feels like really fun.
What's Tolia?
Dude, 268. Which
okay,
is
that's cool.
That's basically what he was getting at where were they? In Atlanta before? When he homered? Yeah. He was basically getting the same in Atlanta there, which is, a okay place to hit when it's 80 degrees or 85 degrees. I'll just add that one in the chat for everybody. I will also add the StatCast leaderboard for Parks because it's being requested in the chat there. Yoshi's asking for Riley Green and playing some of that potential Detroit stuff. We can take a look at Detroit. What do you like, Nez?
I mean, I'm looking at that Toronto White Sox game.
Okay.
And no bullshit. I am like interested in Ryan Noda to hit a home run.
Woo-hoo! He's eating this Ryan Noda up. We're going back to the well from 3 years ago. While I have the Detroit pulled up just because it was asked for, Riley Green is a 291 and Kerry Bonds is a 255. I like both of those at those price tags. Let's check out what Ryan Noda's cooking. A 4.39. Anytime you can take a lifetime minor leaguer with a 4.39 in a park that's playing decent for some home runs right now, you got to do it.
Look, they even bumped it up for you. They made it a 4.54.
Yeah, Numi's behind the scenes. He's like, these fucking idiots actually want to play White Sox today. Let's give them a little bit more.
Goddamn right.
Who else do you like in that ball game then?
Just looking at from the Toronto side. Well, I mean, Barger for sure. 3.45 is a pretty good multiplier. Yeah.
Yeah, Barger's been tearing the cover off the ball. Seems to be living in that 2-hole. I mean, lefty coming out of the pen. Lefty coming out of the pen for the long relief role is less than desirable, but he hammered a double lefty when he started lefty the other night there. So not a huge sample lefty for him to like fully dive into. You know who's also really good lefty right now, and then like had an interview and was like, I'm seeing it so good against lefties right now, is Nolan Shannonwell.
Shannonwell?
How did I say it? Did I butcher it?
Shannonwell.
Yeah, hit one to the second deck at Yankee Stadium, and then his next at bat took one to the wall against can't remember who he was facing actually. Against Rodon. And it was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, Shannonwell can hit, man. Yeah, if you start seeing lefties well, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we got the Noda one, we got the Addison Barger one, we got a Coors one of contrarian Coors variety. Yeah, I'm in lockstep with this. Forever chasing the Logan O'Hoppe. He's just not playing enough. He should be in there way more often. Crazy. The cheese rolling through to say what up, and he was in the daytime diamond with you. Passed on Michael A. Taylor, and he homered. Suck it, Nez. Love it.
Missed out.
Say again?
I said I missed out.
Yeah. Let's do one more of these, and then let's do weekly winners, dude.
All right, put in Brandon Lau and Kerry Carpenter for a clean 25er.
Okay. It gives me like all the lowers too. But you do
SEO genius over here.
And Kerry Bonds. Also in the chat saying that they like I think it was Purple Yosh saying that he likes Riley Green as well with a slightly better price tag. Might play that one alongside something else as well, shared in the Discord later. All right, Nez, let's do the damn thing. Let's jump into weekly winners here. I'm going to fire up the other browser so that we can use the Sidekick, good people at Legendary Upside, allowing us to do that. Just, not completely set up for weekly winners, admittedly. It is better for BBM and some of these other contests. 4 more spots in weekly winners, 2 more spots in weekly winners. But we're going to try it and we'll see it. Obviously, their forte with that and the new S words in which they are building out are, made for the BBM style contest and that sort of thing. But we'll fire it up to assist us in weekly winners nonetheless.
Yeah, I still think it helps because like in weekly winners, you kind of want to stack bye weeks, depending on what draft capital
Right.
you spend at certain bye weeks. So uh when you get that like, bye overlap, it's kind of a plus, it's nice seeing QB stacks as well, of course. But I think it can help, because you just have to think about what it's telling you differently.
Mhm.
Instead of applying it to BBM, obviously we're applying it to weekly winners where we're trying to thread needles and do accomplish much different things. So I still think it could be useful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well articulated there. Did I? No, of course. I shared the wrong screen twice. This guy is on fire right now.
You'll get it. There we
There
go.
we go. Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
So John, I don't know if you know this, but we're not doing weekly winners how most people do weekly winners.
Okay. Explain to me like I'm 5.
We're gonna draft a team. We're gonna draft a game that people think is bad.
CMC 101. Let the kid cook. Oh, dude, we got to take Chase at 3. Come on.
Well, of course. This isn't where we get weird.
Okay. All right. Okay. Walk me through the thesis of the play here, Nez. Interesting to see, man, these running backs. You alluded to it on the stream the other day with Pete that every other format which we draft, people go crazy with the running backs compared to BBM. And it, makes you wonder a little bit here. I do want to share when I saw this CMC 101 that I did try something in the mini Schnauzer and drafted CMC almost every single time in the first round for my 20 bullets because he was like one of those guys you could just get overweight at every spot. And in a time box contest with only like 20 entries that were $3 a piece, I was like, fuck it, let's go. Let's just burn one set of entries on CMC being the dude.
Yeah, why not? Corner of the market in the contest. But so for the weekly winners, man, I think we should like focus on a game that people are not thinking about. And it might be kind of tough based on this start that we have, but maybe, depending on what comes back to us, we can find a game to target. But I want to target like a bad game, a game that people think is bad.
Okay.
And I'm looking at week 1. I think that'll be the easiest way to kind of do this because I know you like week 1, so I'm going to help you out here. I think Miami at Indy is like a sneaky awesome game that people may not be trying to stack up, or at least mini stack. We can still mini stack that game. Let's just try to do maybe a bunch of gross mini stacks.
If Jonathan Taylor comes back to us at 3 there, I mean, we might be cooking. Incredible. Yeah, we might be cooking there.
Yeah, that would be absolutely incredible. So like that's a fun one to kind of stack up here. Something less fun, Vegas at New England, but I don't know. It's an option for us. Carolina at Jacksonville. I think that one could be a lot of fun. We got Giants at Washington football team. So I'm going to keep the week 1 schedule open on the side here. And I think that we should be, at best, trying to stack up one of these gross games. At worst, let's just like go really crazy into week 1 and try to win our 2025's best ball entries in one shot.
I like it, dude. I like it. I love targeting week 1. I love targeting, a little bit of game correlation. The next wrinkle and layer I would take one step further is seeing what overlaps for multiple weeks to give us more outs. So like deciding between those games that we like the ones that you're saying here, it jumped out to me, this Miami and Indy. Well, we could double bubble it with New England, Vegas. New England plays Miami in week 2.
All right. Well, let's earmark a Drake May share in our lives for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even if it doesn't funnel through, I think that's probably the cleanest way to do it. But the Miami one, we'll see what comes back to us. because setting up Miami double kind of like naturally lends itself to having 2 on the team. So
yeah, it doesn't have to be a double either.
sure.
But yeah, I think doing some of this level of work and making this like a week 1 or a heavily correlated Venn diagram ass correlation like you're talking about, I think is a fun exercise.
Perfect. I have no other idea or better way to share an image. So I just tweeted the image here for those asking about the schedule grid. Obviously, I didn't make it. Someone smarter than me put that together. But there you go, Purple Yosh. Just download it from there. I have no idea what's a better
They
way to
weren't
share an image.
they weren't smart enough to put their handle on there though. They could have got some nice engagement.
Yeah, I think it might be like NFL official, but I don't know.
Nah, that looks like somebody from Best Ball Twitter.
Dude, Mahomes, KC. If you don't take Rashee Rice here, you're a fucking fraud. Oh, buddy, JT comes back to us.
Jesus, that's a banger. JT all the way.
They want Higgins for the correlation overlap. That's more of like a BBM style pick. JT is their favorite running back nonetheless, though, so we can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, with weekly winners, something I'm sure many people have heard it before, but like you definitely want to be cognizant, especially with high draft capital, of stacking teammates for sure.
Yeah,
you're really trying to be perfect. And Chase and Higgins are both putting up 30. Oh. Line of scrimmage, dude. You're watching us.
Come on.
All right. Well, okay. So schedule grid real quick. Indy, Miami, Denver. That's a shitty one. We'll just go best player available here, I guess.
McGronk for the spike week. I kind of like punting tight end and weekly winners.
Jacobs. Let's go Jacobs. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good with Jacobs. Get some weekly scoring from these premium running backs here.
That's fine. That's fine. Green Bay Packers week 1. Ooh, they got a good matchup. They play Detroit. We might be able to get a little J-Mo Waymo on the way back.
J-Mo Waymo. Okay.
As long as we can play the week 1 angle, I'll be happy. But
yeah. That's true. So some macro weekly winner principles just to like reset, especially now that we have the schedule. One thing that Nez and I both enjoy doing is finding, games within like the front end of the schedule that correlate as we're leading to here. Also thinking through the dynamics of like start early guys versus like back-weighted rookie guys. So like Genty would be a guy that I dock in this format. Hunter would be a guy that I dock in this format a little bit because I'm prioritizing early. There's also the stacking bye weeks narrative, but you could tell that both ways. Stacking bye weeks is good because you have more players available in isolated weeks to win, and you like punt 1 week, or you could be super balanced and be live to win any week. So I could see it both ways there. Yeah, what else were some of our macro ones? Sometimes ones at the onesies is fine if you use like the elite quarterbacks and elite tight ends there, and then you want to scatter shot other stuff.
I still think single QB is optimal build here, and I stand by that. Like I know that like it's hard to thread that needle, but I do think that is like what single QB is for sure like the way to play this. But
yeah,
you could go a whole season, obviously, and be wrong on that single QB. But I don't know. I think that's the way to play.
I respect it. Shout out to Neil hanging out in the chat, also in the draft. Less of a shout out to Line of Scrimmage, who's apologizing for his actions here. Yeah, we were setting up that game 1 stack, bro. Setting up that game 1 or week 1 stack right there. Miami and Indy, Taylor plus Tyreek. It's okay. We're going all out for Jalen Waddle here.
I think the one thing you could do if you don't go single QB is like, I think for me, I think it's like one or three. And the 3 I would do, maybe like a Danny Dimes, like Tyler Shuck, one of these like really late QBs. I think would be like a fun way to play, like for uber cheap, like 1% draft capital.
Yeah. When we went back and did the research of like teams that won last year, there's the show that we did before the schedule came out on Off and On the Clock, probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Now, as we were covering like format by format there, another thing was like just realizing that the nuts at the onesie positions for teams that won was not overly necessary. Like you do have to hit the nuts, like in terms of like you need the highest scoring quarterback for like an isolated week, most likely, but it was like the one spot you could get away with not needing it. It was you needed the 3 highest scoring wide receivers on the week. You needed the 2 highest scoring running backs on the week. The places that you could mask that was because of like the scoring difference between median and ceiling outcome at the onesies positions. You could also mask it a little bit.
Yeah, and you do have to kind of think too. I mean, it's all we're not building shit that's fun here.
Cincinnati at Cleveland week 1 is no fun. Cincinnati at Jacksonville week 2 is okay.
Cincy Cleveland though could be it, because like we're supposed to be kings of slopping it up. So I mean, we're not doing it with Burrow. That's the only bummer. But like we can still get a Brown piece here, maybe not here, but on this team. I think we should consider Njoku or Judy, of course, or
It would be sick if we're in the camp of Joe Flacco starting early and you do a punt quarterback build and you do like Flacco and Njoku.
Oh wow,
dude, Worthy seems fun in this format. Tet, I would probably wait. I mean, he's fine too. I think DJ Moore's a good early starter. I think Mixon and Kamara are, but we're lighter at wide receiver.
Let's do Worthy.
Yeah, Worthy feels good. I mean, it is a bye week overlapper, which is good. Probably a plus in our format here. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we like that.
George Pickens. Cuba, there's some early production there. Kamara, same thing.
The Chiefs play the Chargers week 1.
Chiefs, Chargers?
Yeah, there's nobody there for us. So.
And then Waddle goes. I was like, this is locked in Waddle. I think I would say DJ Moore or Mixon here. Those would be my 2 picks, unless Denver has something we like. Denver has Tennessee and then Indy and then Chargers. That's kind of fun. But their defense might just be so good that they don't need to.
I'm Mixon.
Mixon? All right. Joe Misdemeanor, welcome to the team, pal.
All right. I feel like every time I talk about who we're targeting, the chat just like tries to make us have the worst time possible. Maybe we just need to. I don't know. I don't know what to do, John. But the Texans play the Rams.
Play the
week
Rams.
1.
Okay. I mean, I think that ship sailed for us because any interest we have in the Rams is gone.
All right, fuck our lives. Let's see here. The Bucks play at Houston week 2.
Bucks at Houston week 2. So like Baker and Godwin, but Godwin's probably going right now. Yeah.
I kind of like your if we can get Judy on the way back.
Okay.
I do think we do like a fucking week 1 Flacco play.
Flacco plus Njoku plus Judy.
Like I'm not going to pretend like Flacco was good last year with the Colts, but I don't know. Someone he puts on that Browns uniform, man, he just gains superpowers.
Oh yeah, he does.
I want a piece of loads
all over the damn place.
I don't want a piece. I want the whole thing. I want Njoku. I want Judy. Give me all that.
Nez, on a completely rogue side note here where my brain just went for some reason. I have a confession, and I don't think you're gonna see eye to eye with me on this one. I I finally watched Friendship, and I didn't think it was great.
I didn't think it was all that great.
Oh, okay, all right, we're in lockstep there. Okay.
I couldn't like crush Pete on the show. Like he really liked it, and I was happy for him. Well, the part that was that I struggled with, and I love my wife, but like I knew that it was like not her thing, so it was like I almost just like needed to like watch it by myself.
Yeah, Nikki left when I watched it. She left like 40 minutes in.
She left. Oh, you watched it at home.
We just rented it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was like, it had some moments. That's why I was like, man, the funniest thing would be like watching an extended cut of Connor O'Malley in the garage. That would definitely, I think that would be so funny.
Yeah, no spoilers. I think it's watchable, right? Especially if you're I think you should leave guy. Like we're both like I think you should leave guys, but it just wasn't quite there for me. Nez, we could do Juwan or we could do that aforementioned Judy play.
Judy. We got to set up that Browns stack.
Yeah, Judy is one of the most polarizing player takes between Legendary Upside and ETR right now. Yeah, they got a little bit of a steam job on Judy at ETR, and then Leg Up prefers, like you saw how many wide receivers there. That Addison, Olave, Doomsday, Reed. Yeah, they were all ahead there.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, man. He is very polarizing.
Yeah. Neil was chiming in. Siegel loves Judy too. There you go. Ricky Pearsall. Dude, I think
running backs. What do you think?
I was gonna say Jacoby here for that game stack with Jonathan Taylor.
What week was that?
I think it was 2.
No, they don't play week 2. They played New England, but let's take Jacoby. It's fine with me.
Which one of it? Oh, it was New England that played both. Okay, well, we'll leave the light on for some New England stuff because they're a cheap back stack and none of them have gone yet. Yeah, because the New England overlap with New England Vegas and then New England Miami was the overlap I was looking for, but we missed out on all of Miami because everyone hates us.
Yeah, they do hate us. But on the way back, man, I would definitely. I have no problem telegraphing who we like. I would love a naked Drake May on this team.
Yeah. Bob clearly not a fan of our take there for Friendship. I thought there were definitely moments, and there were definitely like highlight clips that were like, I think you should leave like moments of laughter. I just, all right. Yeah.
No here's the deal. Hold on.
Okay. Well, as you pull it up, I think people who like Tim Robinson feel no spoilers. It's too early. It's not.
It's not. No, if you wanted to see this movie,
it's too early.
We'll talk you're so wrong. You're so wrong.
I'm not a fan of. No, we can't do the spoilers happening thing. It's too soon. It just came out. When it's out on like a free streaming service, then we can do the spoilers conversation.
If you were a fan and you care, you would have saw the movie already.
True, but people still see it that are like fringe guys like me.
All right,
but like,
all right.
My thing with like Tim Robinson is if you're a fan of Tim Robinson, I think you have to feel that you have to love everything Tim Robinson and you have to love this movie because it's like, oh yeah, he got a movie and it's like, I think you should leave like an extended version. I have to love this. And like, you don't have to love this. Like you can love him in short form. You can love him in Detroiters. you know, you don't have to love this in long form because I just didn't think the character was like that strong.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to like speak for other people necessarily,
Yeah.
but yeah, I went in there like I wanted to like it. I definitely wanted to like it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I didn't think it was like none of the jokes like really were like all like that funny.
Mhm.
You know, and there was definitely some funny ass scenes though, for sure. But
Yeah. There were definitely some moments for sure. I think it was like if you had to go like, let's not go sucks or fucks on this one. Let's go like a number on it. Like I'd say it was like a 7.3.
yeah, I think I would call it like a 6.
Oh, okay. So you're even a little more bearish than me on that.
Yeah, I'm on like the side of like I enjoyed watching it, but like it's definitely on the side of like, do I need to like watch it again? Do I want to like watch it with somebody? You know, no.
Oh my god. The Joku for real?
All right, let's you want to do naked Justin Fields?
Let's play the GD hits, man. This was one of
All right.
our OG theories was there's no quarterback on planet Earth that can win you a week quite like Anthony Richardson or Justin Fields, like just by himself.
Man, that really pissed me off.
Just auto draft and do another one. Oh man,
No.
and then Pittman goes away for if we wanted to do more indie stuff. Okay. I think I got a pick right here. I think I like Mandrews as like a spiky spike week tight end where we don't have to take like an abundance of guys. But if you want Najee or Downs, I'm in.
I'm okay with Andrews here.
Who's your favorite pick on the board?
I think Andrews for
Okay.
weekly winners. Yeah,
right.
I think Andrews.
Sidekick says Downs, but obviously more BBM mindseted.
Yeah, I'm conflicted on Josh Downs. I don't know, man. Yeah. Like what is he? Is he like a true weekly winners play, or is he just? I'm not sure.
Just fancy Wandale Robinson.
I'm definitely like a size queen with my wide receivers. You know, like I just don't necessarily love a guy like him.
Mm-hmm. Feels kind of similar to last year's Tank Dell's theme. Obviously, a more palatable price point in like round 7 or 8. Or I guess that was 2 years ago. Tank Dell's theme.
Well, last year Tank Dell was going like 4th round.
Yeah, for that 4-3 corner over here.
Yeah,
3-4 corner.
Yeah, and I let big content trick me into drafting like 15% of them, even though I thought that was terrible.
Yeah. This is a good shout from Nick, though. It is probably a better watch with a few beers and the fellas. Like that's for sure true. Like that's kind of like evergreen with the I think you should leave stuff. Like, you know, when we've sauced a couple at the cabin and it's like late night and it's like, what are you gonna throw on? It's like let's just laugh for 15 minutes at like, you know, sloppy steaks or whatever.
I mean, that's if I could have, I would have.
Yeah, that's true. Vinny's gonna go check that out soon. Respect it. Why is there so much yelling? I'm walking here. Neil agrees with us. Definitely agrees solo QB and Flacco would be a prime target. Please do that. He's clearly being facetious and like we're so off base based on what he likes.
Let's do it. Let's do it, Neil.
Let's do it. Dude, honestly, I think throwing Flacco on the end of this would be fun.
Can you see if Neil stacked his Hurts? I'm gonna bet he didn't.
He got Devontae Smith at 53.
Okay, Devontae's a good price for it.
No scatter boys in this lobby, man.
Kind of workshopping a theory that, maybe you want naked Jalen Hurts, but week 5 or round 5, Devontae Smith is totally a good pick.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man. All right, 270 of us hanging out. Please hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, all that fun stuff. Jump on over to Underdog Fantasy, jam alongside us. We put some pick'ems, some home run plays in the chat there. We're using legendary upside Sidekick to draft alongside this one. Oh, we were. Let me just give that a refresh. Should be good now. Do that. Yeah, so go check them out there. There's a link to that in the description below. Beautiful assistant tool to keep you in order out here. Keep your mindset right.
All right, let's lock in. Let's lock in here.
Dobbins at 115. Ooh. Ramondre. I should have made some rankings for this before we jumped in here with the Sharks. Tootin. Okay.
Jags were on the radar.
Yeah, Jags were on the radar.
I think
nobody wants the rookie tight ends. Dude, we could do the Drake May thing.
Yeah, I think it's probably fine here.
It feels bad taking Drake May over Kyler, though.
No, it feels good, actually. Kyler doesn't care about football. Drake May's a better rusher than Kyler.
Ooh, spicy. All right. Let's do the Drake May. We're throwing ADP out the window from here on out. Drake May, which probably means we'll do like a Hunter Henry, or we'll do like a Demario Douglas, who's like an easy early season production stack.
Houston, yeah, I'm like totally fine, just like not even worrying about stacking Drake May.
Okay.
Like, I don't think his like wide receiver, well, Hunter Henry, do love that. But like Pop Douglas, like, I'm okay. I think I would throw out Tajay Spears goes. Jesus, you fucking guys.
Oh, we should have taken Spears first if we wanted.
Everybody's taking all the good picks.
Christian Kirk, a bunch of rookies here, a bunch of tight ends. Ray Davis.
Cool with Kirk or Davis. I'm cool with Ray Davis too.
Let's see Kirk. Yeah. ADPs are quite different than BBM. So you just like kind of like slowly catch yourself like, oh shoot, like that guy's still available or that guy's not. Spin zone narrative on this team here, Nez. Justin Fields building for week 1, revenge game Steelers. You don't think Justin Fields is a fuck you guys, bro? Like, like I think he's got that like, oh yeah, by the way, mentality in him.
Wow. That's going to break my heart.
Dude, he's going to run it down your throat. He's going to kill you guys. Garrett Wilson, 2 bombs for like 5, 118, and 2. And then, 2 more on the ground from Justin Fields.
That's going to be tough.
That's fun.
Probably a tough matchup, but
yeah.
I kind of agree with GA.
No. Dude, all professional athletes, even if they've struggled at like the big stage, like maybe not all, because Hallie's not that guy, but like all the guys at this level who play quarterback, they got that fuck you gene in them. Like think about Baker, man. Baker was like a 1-0-1. He failed. He was supposed to turn the Browns around, and now he's like still got that dog in him. He's still got that fuck you in him.
Yeah, but like he had that. Like Justin Fields has always been like kind of a quiet guy.
All right. Maybe I don't know enough about Justin Fields then.
Yeah, he's pretty quiet.
Okay.
I think that's part of why like teams like feel some type of way about him, or at least the Steelers did, because like they want their quarterback to be like a vocal leader and
Yeah. Okay. Baker didn't
the
fail. He had a
Steelers
bad
fucked up.
shoulder. He still failed in those like rookie season. And like just because the surroundings were bad and he was injured, still failed.
With weekly winners, just a pivot here. I kind of get stuck in a way of building out teams, and I don't know if it's bad, but like I'm definitely like a fill out the starting lineup ass guy for weekly winners.
Yeah, like a home league right now. You're thinking about defense and kicker in the 12th.
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta fucking beat them every week, man. We need that. We need that Steelers defense.
101. There's always a defense in the first round guy in every league.
Oh, jeez. Oh man.
But like we spent the draft capital at running back, and assuming we maybe get one of those guys in the flex. I mean, we can take some late running backs, but like I feel like draft capital here at running back feels weird.
Okay.
I don't know, just because like it's a lot of like contingency guys left, so like why not take like a later contingency bet? Considering we have 3 starters right now.
Starters, yeah. I do get that mindset for sure. I'm looking for some fun games in week 1. Man, Arizona, that Kyler fall, like Arizona at New Orleans, then Carolina for the first 2 games. Like, man, he could dice them up 30 balls
and Niners
weeks.
I'm not so certain the Niners are going to have a good defense.
True. Yeah. I mean, not as we've grown accustomed to them having. Austin Eckler scores points, but you said
that's different. I think Austin Eckler is interesting.
Like Jadon Blue feels like a later season bet. Isaac Guerendo's like full on handcuff. Kyle Williams for the stack.
Yeah, Hollywood, that does make so much sense. But
Kyle Williams,
it does, right? Like, unless you want to do like Tillman.
Dude, I'm so much more scared than everybody else about Tillman's health.
Yeah, I know you think his brain is soup.
Yeah. I mean, that's a certainly a way of phrasing it. I mean, I might have gone with like scrambled eggs or something, like, like soup. It's a little tough.
My fault. Yeah, I was just thinking further. It doesn't matter. Line of scrimmage said he had to have him. Had to have him. I get it.
And then he got that 2 stack that we were getting. Okay, Tillman practiced at the end of OTAs. Okay. I just saw that's
what he said at a press conference, and then Kevin Stefanski said, I didn't see him out on the field at all. I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay. Second tight end. Berg feels like a little bit of a tier break at tight end that feels fine. If we want to do 2.
Palmer. Yeah, professional ass.
All right. Buffalo's got Baltimore, so there's a little bit of correlation there with Andrews and him. So Buffalo, Baltimore in week 1 there, and then Cleveland in week 2. So we got a little bit of correlation there with the Jerry Jeudy as well. So yeah, I don't know. Seems logical.
I like it. Pretty decent team so far.
Yeah, it's not terrible for sure. I think I liked our Miami plan better, but it got foiled. Nez, when you look at this roster right now, weekly winners, 2, 3, 7, 1 right now. We got 5 picks left. How would you land this plane?
Hunter Henry.
Okay.
4 picks left. Kyle Monangai. 3 picks left.
Uh-huh.
Push the plane. No, I'd have to. I got to see who's available. What do you think about what do you think about this, John? We liked Miami. I forget why. You know who Miami signed this offseason that like all they do is like do the best high variance thing possible?
Oh, Westbrook Akine. Dude, you could do worse. You could do worse. Okay.
Might be the best third wide receiver Miami has had in in some time.
And he's a vet guy. He's a start early guy. He's like, hey, we trust him out there. Malik Washington runs the wrong route one time and get the fuck out of here. Westbrook Akine's in, like,
Malik Washington, man, that was we fell for that so hard. Like when do we need to just like as a group, as a nation, stop drafting 5'8" wide receivers. It's just like not ever gonna work. It's not ever.
It worked twice and everybody went ham on it forever.
Is Tank Dell? He might even be 5'9". He's 5'10". He's not even 5'8".
Okay.
But like Rondale Moore, like why did nobody like throw cold water on our faces and be like, hey, Rondale Moore is 5'5". Why are you drafting this guy? Like when he first got in the league, we were drafting Rondale Moore.
Yeah.
Enough.
It's a good point.
Stop drafting little guys. That's why they signed Westbrook Akine.
Yeah, it hasn't happened since Darren Sproles. Different position.
Yeah, right? Yeah, different position. You can do as a running back, you can do that.
Yeah. Pass catching running back. All right, guys. We're gonna be out here in a minute. Strange getting some love. Obviously that factors in some week 17, which we don't necessarily care about in here. Dude, Romeo Doubs is still available if we want to do an 8th wide receiver.
I think I would rather do Alec Pierce or Quentin Johnston. Dubs is like I don't think Dubs is a weekly winner's ass pick.
Okay, let's do QJ then. And the reason is the first game that we're playing through Indy there, QJ, we're going to play a back and forth between Xavier Worthy and QJ in week 1.
QJ does the good high variance thing too,
Right. So, yeah, KC and the Chargers there. So we get Worthy and QJ going back and forth. And then the Indy, Miami. Damn it. I keep thinking we got someone from Miami still.
We did. We're gonna get Westbrook Akine in the 18th. Let's take Hunter Henry right here, unless he went, and then I'm gonna absolutely destroy whoever took him from us.
He's gone.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
How about Braylon Allen then as a contingent / might get some work, or do you want to do tight end? Strange?
I'd go Strange.
Okay. I'm good with it. So we got a 2 tight end build here. We got 8 wide receivers. Are we just throwing running back darts from here on out, or are we going to get one more wide receiver?
Before you answer that, what fucking pick did Ricky take Hunter Henry? He's ADP 170. Takes him 154. What are you doing?
Let's tell a story. Let's tell a story for. Oh, he could have had Strange stacked with Trevor Lawrence too.
What's not clicking?
He's got Trey McBride already too.
Ricky, dude, wake up! Earth to Ricky. What are you doing, bud?
He's already got a double stack of the Jags with BT and ETN and Lawrence. So maybe he didn't want to go that route. What's the thought process here? New England, he doesn't have any Vegas, so he's not playing for earlier in the calendar. Jags, don't play them. Seattle, nope. New England, Vegas, Miami, he had none of. Pittsburgh, he had none of. Carolina? I don't know. Maybe he just likes Hunter
154.
Henry.
You must. Big Arkansas Razorback fan. Big Charge. Like, I don't know what it is.
I'm learning. Let me pay the rate.
It's not.
Would it not just make sense to draft 2 Green Bay, Indy, and Houston running backs? I mean, it's not a terrible idea, I guess.
I don't think
Like
it's a. I don't think it's a terrible idea.
I mean, it definitely keeps your roster alive forever, but it also handcuffs your ceiling, right?
Big time.
Yeah. So like, you're basically pinpointing that the highest scoring running back on the isolated weeks that we could potentially win have to be one of these 3. Whereas like if you throw darts at like Sampson and Giddens, or I guess Giddens isn't overlapping, but if you throw a dart at like, who was the other guy you said, the Bears guy?
Kyle Monangai, baby.
Monangai, like you could throw a dart at like, oh, we have a usable flex score to go alongside it. So you're telling the same story, but you're telling it in a different way. I don't know. I haven't thought about that a lot.
Dude, Monangai is it.
Yeah.
I'm fully bought in.
All right.
It's too much of a drum beat.
Too much of a drum beat.
Dude, they keep talking about how like he is the reason they did not sign anybody.
Right.
It's all you hear. They said we're good. We got Kyle Monangai.
Oh man.
Bro, he's a running back. He's fucking tough.
He's a running back. Demario Douglas stacks, but we're probably done at wide receiver. Hunter, Monangai.
Dude, let's do Lockett or Monangai.
Let's do your boy.
Dude, he's a fucking house. He's 210 at 5'8", but like he's fucking tough, bro. He's tough. He trucks dudes. Good vision. Never fucking fumble.
I can't wait for you to go Audric Estime all over again on Kyle Monangai of like, oh, he's gonna win the role. We're going puppy 2, and I'm getting 40%, and then you're gonna get the CLV.
Dude, line of scrimmage keeps taking all of my guys. Absolute fucking shitter.
I think we should go running back. Anyways. Yeah. Dude, Miles Sanders an early season play. Keaton Mitchell for like a ceiling outcome would be good. Sampson.
Let's do Sanders. Let's be the early season bros.
Okay. All right, how we landing this plane here? Yeah.
Nick Westbrook-Akine.
Okay.
I think this is a throw shit at the wall wide receiver squad.
Which is weird to say with Chase on it.
Yeah, but we have 3. What do you think?
It's a pretty professional ass wide receiver room. You know, like just a bunch of like mid scores, and then you just hope that like Chase breaks a slate, Worthy breaks a slate. Like there's a bunch of like usable scores here, but it doesn't feel like ceiling shot scores here.
Right. That's why like I think we should just try to, throw a bunch of shots and try to get lightning in a bottle with one of these late wide receivers.
I like the Westbrook-Akine call, especially with like the bring back notion with the JT thing that originally we tried to set up that got ruined.
And he gets, so let's see what kind of what boxes he checks. So, look at that. Check. Chargers, Browns.
Dude, if Westbrook-Akine scores his 7 touchdowns this year in the first 4 weeks as bringbacks off of Taylor, the Drake May skinny stack, who we got, Joshua Palmer, and then Justin Fields.
And then, dude, look, it keeps going. Look,
it does.
Go back. QJ, Judy, Mark Andrews, Buffalo again.
Dude, we accidentally built a Westbrook-Akine team.
This has to be Westbrook-Akine. He's the key to all of this. This is how this is fucking Thanos putting the final Infinity Stone in the gauntlet right here.
Oh my goodness, that's fun. Okay, some interesting stuff going on in the chat here. Pacheco rookie season version of Kyle Monangai coming this year. Okay,
Yep.
let's
Scarlet
get it.
Knights, baby.
Line of Scrimmage said he was stacking AFC South bets there. Hayden, our guy, rolling through. JT, Jacobs, and Mixon.
We say weekly winners, and Hayden comes sprinting to the chat. I love
it. What's good, Emo Cowboy? Long shot pick here from Respooked. We can check out who he ends up taking. Wide receiver 97, number 3 in our hearts.
Number 3.
Okay. Neil did a 2-6-6-3 in weekly winners, which is interesting. And then you juxtapose that to Chris.
That equals 17.
Oh, sorry. I screwed up then. He just made that last pick. So we'll see what he did. So Chris, this is why weekly winners is fucking goated. Like,
you need to make this pick. I'm really worried about your positional limits. I don't trust you that you weren't drunk one night and you're like, you know what? I got my 8 wide receivers. Like I'm setting the limits. Thank you. Because if we miss that Westbrook Akine pick, I'm logging off before you can shut this shit down.
Okay, that was a very, very reasonable request given my track record. That was a very reasonable. Okay, so that's the first one we've done on my account here. Let's see. Okay. So Chris goes. So I really wanted to look at this.
Yeah.
Where's Chris's team? Chris goes 1-9-7-1. Let's see if we can tell a story with his team. So like Jaden Daniels, naked quarterback, seems good by me. Brock Bowers, naked tight end, feels good by me. Like you're only winning a week if you hit ceiling with those two. Doesn't take a running back until 56, so round 5, which means he takes 2 wide receivers in between, Puka and Marv. Bears and Packers divisional correlation. Rams.
I see the vision.
Rams and Arizona divisional correlation, and Seattle divisional correlation. Then some contingent bets. Like these are all contingent bets. That Emmanuel Wilson pick slaps.
I like that. I like that. That's how you like GT fucking O the weekly winners.
And he goes, look at the archetype at wide receiver here. Obviously, some bye week overlap because of the teammate stacking and divisional stacking. But then look at the archetype of wide receiver. Puka holds down the fort. He's your like mean projection plus ceiling. And then we shoot the moon on ceiling chasers. Like Marv had a couple of ceiling games last year. Rome could bust out. Debo, we know it's in there. And then rookie, who are underpriced in this format because nobody wants to back weight.
Yeah, I mean, his thesis is he's playing for later in the season. So yeah, rookies are good for that thesis. That's an awesome team.
Dude, this is fun. Yeah, Nez has fully unlocked his third eye. This is what, dude, weekly winners, we really wanted to do a weekly winner stream because we did the original one, but it was before the schedule came out. So now we'll do this one. And now we'll just keep going with this rotation. I love doing the make the chat vote or whatever too. All right, Nez. Here you go. Hayden saying the fill rate data is in and weekly winners is him. It's true, man.
It's always been. I mean, you got to give credit where it's due, man. Weekly winners has been consistently the fastest filling contest in the lobby. It was like that last year too. Let's see. I want to see what our snipe partner did, and then what. Oh wow, yeah, I want to see what Neil did.
Yeah, so Neil says he doesn't love his team, but he went 2-6-6-4. So, 2 ceiling shot onesies. We noted that Arizona schedule to start. Like, this looks fun as fuck for Arizona. The first 6 weeks, maybe 7 up to the bye. At New Orleans, Carolina, at San Francisco, that's probably going to see some defensive regression there. Seattle could be, who knows what Seattle's going to be with that one. So that's a bit of a wild card one there. Tennessee, at Indy, and then Green Bay. Like, that's a fun start for Kyler.
Yeah, that's definitely a good start. Did he stack it?
Michael Wilson was his stack partner. He got froze out of elite tight end, so he just played whack-a-mole tight end. Do you like 4 tight end more or less in this format?
I think more. Yeah, I think more.
Yeah. I don't know. Because
I think
like
with late
one of
tight end, like you just need to you're just trying to hit the nuts at tight
right.
end one time. You don't care about how it affects your advance rate, because like you're scoring less points over the course of the season. You don't care about it hurting your playoff rate. Like you just want one of these guys. I think it makes a lot of sense in weekly winners doing it with this draft capital, of course.
Yeah. Because like it does feel like the one position too, as we alluded to earlier in the stream, that you can like slough off and not hit the nuts at the onesies if you hit the nuts at every other position for a week and still win, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you do, like more power to you. You're spreading more shots out for that. Yeah, no, this is cool.
Yeah,
I do gotta head out soon though. I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, Nez had this hard out. Yeah,
signal.
no more today. We already did all baseball. We did WNBA. We did Pick'em. We did weekly winners. We did it all today. Nez, you can dip because I'm gonna appease my guy Easy here, and I'm gonna do one NFL parry for the crowd. The people know I'm the GOAT. So
all right,
Nez, any chance of a no strip stream tonight, or no?
I'm gonna try to.
Okay.
I'll keep you guys posted. Nothing confirmed, but I'll let you know as soon as possible.
Okay, so ear to the street with Nez. He just updated the 7th inning stretch rankings. If you guys want to go in there and draft that, might be doing a draft whatever he wants this evening. No strip stream, but then keep your ear to the street for today/tomorrow. We're still working through the kinks of the schedule associated with this, but we're going to have that new solver stream where we go through. I think Nez has 80 drafts completed and I have 44 completed. We go through the portfolio management stuff. We do some slow draft stuff, and yeah, it's a fun show. We recorded it yesterday. It's about an hour long. It's worth your guys' time. It's all football. It's a little bit different than what we normally do there. So keep your ears to the street for that one. Peace out to Nez. All right. Okay, let's do this. I'll recap our team just to close, and then we'll do this. It was more of a standard build here with a 2-5-9-2, Fields and May, Jonathan Taylor, Jacobs, and Mixon. We're going to win some early weeks there. Kyle Monangai, who I just learned about yesterday from Nez, and then Miles Sanders, who's, I guess, just an early week target, who was a guy we targeted in weekly winners for early usage last year too, before Chuba came on. He did get the first carries. He just did do nothing with them. Chase falls to 3, which is probably kind of a little bit normal in this format, to be honest. Just more flipping of the board and more weird stuff taking place. Xavier Worthy, Judy, Jacoby Myers, Kirk, Kyle Williams for the stack there, Joshua Palmer, QJ, and Westbrook Akine, who's going to tie a bow on all of those stacks, as we alluded to. Mark Andrews and Brenton Strange. Probably could have used a third tight end on this one, not going to lie. But if Andrews outperforms draft capital there and has a couple of those positive touchdown weeks like he did last year, could be a lot of fun. All right, let's do this. The NFL Perry. If you guys haven't played this, I just found it via Easy. People have been posting it in the Discord, been posting it wherever. I will, for the crowd, enable one skip, but I do feel like it is cheating. No sponsorship, no nothing. I'm putting this in the chat for the people if you guys want to play along here. So here, okay, this is how I've been playing. So I know what the nuts is for the high now. So it's like not as fun to chase the high, but given the pick that you get, it's fun to chase the low too. So there are some nut lows available. I haven't fully solved the nut low, but I think I'm pretty sure I know what the nut low is. But let's start the game. It randomizes a team for you, right? So we get the Titans, which means we could build a low or we can build a high with the Titans. If you want to build a low, you start with Tyler Boyd, but you will not build the optimal low it's like a 80-point start. If you want to build the high with the Titans, you start with Chris Johnson and you put him in the running back position here. So let's put Chris Johnson in there and see what we roll next. The Saints, we're not going to be able to build the optimal in any regard here because of the teams that we rolled to start. So if you're a true sicko, you probably would have just refreshed the browser by now knowing that, which is truly disgusting to say that I know all this. But Jimmy Graham or Alvin Kamara, but Jimmy Graham is like slightly better filling that. Bears, you can't really do anything with, like Matt Forte, but it doesn't really score. So you just skip Bears. They're not good for the high or the low. Vikings, you can do Justin Jefferson or Randy Moss if we're playing for the high. And I believe it's actually Randy Moss who outscored Justin Jefferson by like 4 fantasy points. This 376 is like higher. Giants are like an awful roll. Like this is just, it's Jover right now. You put Saquon in here, but he's like a 370 or something. He's a 385. So it's over. The Browns are the nut roll for the lower. And that is because the lowest scoring player that you can have, and I'll just show you guys because this team is dead anyways. The lowest scoring player you can have is Kadarius Toney at minus 0.8 there. Packers are no good, but it's Devonta Adams is their highest scorer, or Rodgers. If you want to play the quarterback position, Rodgers has like a top 10 score of all time. Devonta Adams has like a top 20 wide receiver score of all time. And then we roll Hurts to close it out here. This Browns pick, if we were actually playing for the higher and I didn't want to just show you guys the lower score, the Browns pick would actually be Josh Gordon. And that's like a 370 or a 360 or something. So this team would have been, 2,400 or something like that. So not amazing. We'll roll it again. Titans is a gross place to start. We'll restart. Jags. I mean, you can't build the nut high with the Jags because it's Maurice Jones-Drew at the running back position, but you can build an okay lower by playing Tank Bigsby. But like Tank Bigsby is like a 70 or something. Oh, he's a 129. So it's not even a good lower. Here's the other GTO nut lower that you have to roll here. And it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers legend Le'Veon Bell for 4.8 fantasy points. So you just add that one in there. Yeah. Titans is okay, right? Like the Jags are so dusty. Like this Titans, you can't really do much with because you take Chris Johnson and it's like 392. The effective nuts that you have to roll for like the optimal is 3 running backs, and you got to get Priest Holmes, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Panthers version of CMC. So that's like the nuts there. So yeah. Here it is. First time playing 2,355. Easy's laying the groundwork. If you can get higher than 2,500, it's pretty good. If you get higher than 2,800, you're pretty goated. I've got a couple cool 2,800s, but I've never gone for the 3K. And the 3K like nut, I'm not going to tell you guys because it kind of ruins playing. But yeah. Falcons is a good one because you can get, like, if we're playing the lower, you get the second lowest quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo's the lowest quarterback at 36 points for New England, but Michael Penix is the second lowest quarterback with 44-1. Steelers is tough. Steelers is like just start again, basically. Steelers have basically no one that you can play that's like less than, I guess, tight end, and you play Eric Ebron, and it's like 140. Yeah. Panthers is the GTO role for the higher game. For the lower game, it's still pretty good if you want to cheat and play tight ends in the flex, and you put Tommy Tremble in there at 60. Packers is gross. It's like game over for us. Yeah, you just got to re-roll this one. So anyways, fun. We'll roll one last one, decide what we play. We'll just play. Nah, okay, we'll just play for the higher. But we know we can't build the nuts. Arian Foster's highest Texan. There we go. There's a good roll. CMC is the highest scoring running back season of all time. Bucks is gross. We just skip unless you're playing the lower and it's Lev Bell. Seahawks is actually good for the lower because you can go in here and you can find Jerry Rice, and Jerry Rice has 90. So yeah. Anyways, this one's over. This game is so addictive, right? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, not using a skip on Lobo. I've given up. I've given up here. I think the Stones is 34 or 3004. So there you go. Did Jumfrey saying Big Dumper homered again? Oh my god, he legit has a good case at MVP, but I didn't get it off my tongue yesterday. Yesterday he has the same case as Bobby Witt had last year versus Aaron Judge, where it's like, this is an amazing runner-up season that should be remembered forever if Aaron Judge keeps doing what he's doing. Like, he can't actually win MVP. But the big thing that Big Dumper has in his regard is if the Mariners make the playoffs and he like wins Platinum Glove catcher, then it's like, okay, the defense matters so much. But Judge is just such an outlier in the AL right now. If he was in the NL, he could have a legit shot at MVP, which is weird to say with Shohei Ohtani being there. But yeah. All right, guys, that's the end of the show. Appreciate everyone rolling through, dropping by, dropping through to draft weekly winners with us. Shout out to Legendary Upside and the Sidekick that helped us get through that draft. Link in the bio below if you guys want to check that one out. Shout out to Hayden and the Emo Cowboy who rolled through in the chat there. Much love to you guys, friends of the show. All right, enjoy your guys' weekend. And best of luck in the MLB and WNBA streets this evening. Everybody's favorite time on the show. The end. Oh, keep your eyes open. The Solver video is going to drop either tonight or tomorrow. And No Strip Nez this evening potentially as well. So lots more content coming for you guys. All right. Everybody's favorite time on the show. The end. Peace.